Welcome to Drinking Bros, presented by GhostBed.com.
Yeah, back in studio. Welcome to Drinking Bros, kids. Nice little Tuesday afternoon special here.
Is that what day it is?
I think it is, but it's been tough. You and I have been all over the planet in the last few weeks.
Yeah.
We're happy to be back in Tejas for a little bit at least. And we're happy to have these guys on the show today. Burbiz is on the show. Scott Davidson, what's up? Jesus Christ, you're jacked.
It's old man strength. It's old.
Boy, look at those cannons, my man. Look at those pythons.
I got to carry Jack around. That's the problem.
Gotta
Can
carry
you
Jack around.
talking to the goddamn microphone?
Yeah.
He has to
Come
explain
on,
it. Dan
dude.
knows better. He didn't give instructions.
I
Yeah.
did. Yeah, he's in the Navy, so it's like you got to tell him everything.
Oh,
I think the last naval officer to come on here was what's his name? The former White House press secretary, Sean
Yes, Sean Spicer.
Spicer. Yeah, Spice Dog. That's what I was trying to think of.
Spice Dog.
Yeah, we called him Spice Dog, and when he first introduced himself, like, oh, so you were in the Navy? That's basically like the military, right? And he goes, yeah.
Yeah, he was not a fan of that.
Didn't seem like he enjoyed that too much, but it's true, Sean. It's true.
Don't know if the joke landed for him.
And then he was trolling me on Instagram afterwards. Like, oh, they never invite me back. I'm like, dude, I told you come back whenever, as long as we can call you Spice Dog the entire time.
Yeah, and we're going to call him.
Jack,
that's what we
say
do.
some fucking words.
That's
dude.
what we do. We got Jack Mandeville in the house from Friday Night Jack Sesh on Patreon. Drinking Bros podcast is there.
Also, Chet Scoveland.
Chet Scoveland as well. We're going to do some things with Chet this fall for football season. Welcome, Jack. How are you, buddy?
I'm very good, Ross. Thank you for having me on the show. Dan, thank you for having me on the show.
There it is.
Scott, as a former intelligence officer, I got to say you were a great Army officer.
thank you. I appreciate that. Only coming from you, though.
So the reason Jack is here on the show, he's been working with Burbiz.
Burbiz. Like bourbon.
Burbiz.
Bourbon in business.
Bourbon and business.
For years and years and years. You guys have been doing some amazing things, but I want to start off with an amazing gift you have brought to our set
Yeah,
here.
speaking of football season.
Yeah.
I figured it'd make the most sense, right, considering that you guys are a true fan of the work of OJ.
Yeah, so
Yes, the athlete.
Yes,
Yeah.
the athlete.
We're able to separate the athlete from the murderer.
That's right. So
if you can't see, this is a Bills helmet from back in the day. OJ's signature, all of his stat lines right here. And I think there's a bloody glove tucked up in here somewhere, but I can't find it. So we'll look for that later.
let's put it on and see if it fits.
No. But I am honestly thinking about wearing this to the airport sometime.
All Scott ever got me was a handkerchief signed by Ryan Leaf. So you guys, he really likes you
Was
guys.
it the handkerchief he used to dab his eyes after he was crying in the locker room?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or did it have something to do with him getting arrested at the Canadian border with a bunch of ecstasy?
Could have been both.
Could have been
both.
Could have been his cum rag. I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's a lie, though. What did I get you, though?
Oh, he got me.
Microphone
He
there.
got me the autograph from Rudy Rudiger.
Framed.
On the
we've got one
jersey,
of those.
framed. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Right over there.
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah.
Where is it?
Yeah, we've got it. It's actually way far away from the sets in a back room. But right behind you, there's one on a helmet. Right behind you on that
Oh,
Notre
yeah,
Dame
we're
helmet.
supposed to blow that thing up, actually.
We were. COVID interfered. And
So we do a thing for the sports show every year. We have a prize, and usually there's at least one Notre Dame related prize because they have the worst fans on earth, most delusional at least, right?
Right.
And the first winner of our Sarah Williams Worst Fan of the Year award was
Kalen Cothran, yes. Yeah.
who is a Notre Dame fan, right? So we started this tradition where we would get. He's in one of the fantasy football leagues, and there's a Notre Dame piece of gear up to win. And if we win it, one of us wins it, then we fucking destroy the thing.
Did he go to Notre Dame?
I don't think so.
They never
He
do.
actually
They never
may
do.
have.
They never do.
He may have. I mean, he's at least from the area. I don't know. I mean, he's
Yeah.
a pretty smart guy, so there's a good chance he went there, I think. But I don't know if he did or not.
Were you
He might
blowing
be
up
in here,
the
actually.
Rudy helmet because he's actually in fact in real life, contrary to the movie, a gigantic piece of shit?
Oh, we don't. Is that true?
Yeah.
That's what I've heard.
No shit. I've never heard that. No, we were doing it because Notre Dame is always overrated. Rudy was offsides. And it was more just to piss off the Notre Dame fans because they love Rudy so much.
Yeah.
So every year in fantasy football, and we usually have like 6 to 8 leagues, one is a pure burn Rudy burn
Yeah, we burned
league.
a jersey 2 years ago and 19 at Black
Well,
Rifle,
I
San
keep winning
Antonio.
this league. I keep last year's the first time I haven't won this league. I keep winning the league, and then we burned the jersey live on air, and then we burned the next thing, and then this one needs to be burned as well. But somebody else won the Rudy jersey, and they did not burn it. They kept it this year.
Yeah, of course they did, because they're assholes.
So the OJ thing. How did you know OJ Simpson?
So I do a lot of work with autographs, memorabilia, things of that nature. I found out was going to come on. I talked to Dan, and so they did a private signing recently, and so I
With
reached
the
out,
juice.
Yeah, with the juice. So we went out and we found. I talked to a couple people who work with my network, and I said, "Well, shit, I'm coming on here. I got to get it for you guys." So I wound up. I picked back. I purposely got the throwback helmet because I thought that would be the one.
Well,
you
we've
guys
got
needed.
the
That's
matching
the
jersey
move.
back there.
Yeah.
So I matched, and I said that's the one we had to get.
And just
so.
to clarify for the audience,
great.
this was from Scott Davidson here. The gift from Dr. Frank was this Dwight Schrute bobblehead right here.
Yes.
I don't know if you can see it.
You just brought that.
But it's signed by Rainn Wilson.
That's awesome.
If you can see it there.
Which is amazing. Dwight
Yeah.
Schrute. Dr. Frank got you that one,
Yeah.
and that's going to live on the desk forever.
Yep.
Brought that back from North Carolina. There's very few things that Dan likes in this world. I think The Office, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Dwight Schrute specifically. Most of the characters on The Office are absolute dog shit. Like that whole Jim and Pam thing, they're both cunts. Both of those people. They're the worst people on earth. All they do is sit around. They're fucking judgy assholes that have accomplished nothing in life.
Yeah.
But somehow feel they need to judge everybody else.
And
I don't
Dwight
like
is
him.
by far one of the hardest workers.
Dwight
in the
is a
office.
hardworking pragmatist.
Yeah.
Right?
And loyal.
And loyal as
Very
fuck.
loyal.
Yep. So I like Dwight. The rest of you guys can get fucked.
Yeah.
What about Andy?
Alright.
What about Andy?
No,
I always
Andy.
curious.
Andy is like a fucking.
I was
trust
never a
fund
fan.
kid.
Yeah, I was never a fan of
I can't
the
deal with
Andy
trust fund
character.
kids.
If you met, I've worked with people as close as you can get to an actual person like Dwight Schrute before. They're great for television. They can be insufferable in person, though.
Oh, I'm sure he would be hard to work with on a day-to-day basis in an office.
Yeah, right.
Because he's just fucking weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't have to deal with that.
No.
So
Right.
I'm a fan.
And we're a fan of your organization. Tell everybody what it is, how you guys got started, and what you're doing here in the Tejas area.
So I appreciate that. So we're excited. So Burbiz is basically a brainchild of myself and retired Lieutenant Colonel Justin Constantine, was Marine. People probably seen him around. He was, we were in Iraq 2006. He was shot in the head by a sniper. He's got that famous story. People have probably seen him. You can Google him. Does TED Talks now, things that way. But basically, he was on patrol. Sniper got him. Was operating in the area. The bullet struck him in the back of the right ear and exited out of the front of his face from here to here.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And it was an AK round. So three. Actually, and the crazier part about that was 2 Marines had been killed right at that same time. So the sniper got 3 people essentially while they're doing that. And his story is just incredible. We can go into that another day. But he survives. And I will say this is the fucking best ballsy move people don't know about. When they drove him, so he's been shot. People thought he was dead because they're engaging an actual sniper. And they're fighting, actually, because this was in Ramadi. And the PFC, I believe, at the time, grabbed him, throw him in the Humvee. They couldn't medevac him out. They drive him in the worst fucking IED alley road possible to get him to a forward operating hospital. And think about, everyone thought he was dead. They had to, they did CPR. His heart stopped twice. He then gets up out of the back of the Humvee and walks his ass into the fucking the hospital. People don't know about that part. People
Holy
think whatever.
shit.
And he stood up on his own with his face like that. And they had to grab his head at one point to get it because he kept on trying to pull the trach out of his. They had to do his emergency trach there, right there in the sand. And when he walks, and he only had one good eye that was unfortunately detached and hanging. He could still see. And so they said, "Hey, sir, you need to move now or you're going to die." And he gets up and he walks into the hospital.
He never gave up, just like Rudy.
Never like Rudy.
Yeah.
So anyway, and of course, Justin's recovery. Thank you. It's a good segue for Rudy. But
Dan's face right now says it
I
all.
want to die.
I'm sure Justin will thank you when he goes to Burbas and sees you, Jack. So Justin and I both had met, a couple years back at I was teaching at Syracuse University at the time for entrepreneurial boot camp for veterans with disabilities. And we met in this class. We started talking about it. And we both had a pretty rough transition out of the military. We both are medically retired. And it just was, we just had obviously we had some very interesting times coming out. And we kind of sat down and we said, how do we fucking make things better? But not like from a perspective of, oh, you got to go to this, it's a job fair, or it's a fucking, like, I got to learn about business or entrepreneurship, right?
Right.
So what happens is we said, well, why don't we create something where it's for everything, where it's mental health, it's physical fitness, it's entrepreneurship, it's jobs, it's everything. And let's throw in the whole camaraderie of being in the service together, and let's just make it a good atmosphere. And that's where we kind of came up with the whole point of bourbon and business. That's where Bourbon comes from. And we started to do that. And we've tweaked it over the years. And that's what it is. You come into the event. It's always free, no matter what. That's always been our goal. Mm-hmm. Everything that we do not charge a soul coming in there. We never wanted a barrier for entry at all, because we know how bad it could be. We want it to be easy for people to get in. Veterans and military spouses. And then when you come in, it's free. There's always a 4-hour open bar. That does not change, and you guys know that from Vegas.
Yeah.
I know it from San Antonio.
I don't know what is your tab. What was your tab at the end of that last shot show?
$17,000.
That was a big event, though. It was bigger probably than the one in San Antonio.
Yeah.
Everybody was there. Chef was there. I mean, there was pretty much everybody was there.
It's big, and it fluctuates, right? So like when we do Vegas this year, it's going to be what we're planning on doing. We could talk about that a little bit. It's going to be it'll be bigger than that.
Wait, when is that going to be?
It's at SHOT Show.
Oh, so it'll be
January 18th. Yeah, January 18th. We're going to have it that
2022?
2022.
Yeah. Okay.
Correct. 2022, we'll have it there. But yeah, so it was about $17,000. But
you don't need to hold the mic right like that.
It's worth it. Yeah, sorry. It's worth it, though, because so what happens is we don't charge. Everyone, by that second drink, everyone's fucking talking, right? And that's the most important thing, is you get that energy going in the field. Everyone's moving around. It's awesome. And we get that, and you basically walk away with, you can walk 1 foot and run into a Medal of Honor recipient who's going to talk to you about mentorship and leadership. You walk another foot, I'm going to walk into Chef Rush to talk to you about whatever you want to talk about.
Well, if it's Clint Romashaw that you're running into, he's just going to want to talk to you about cigarettes.
Cigarettes, and he wants a beer. I already know what Clint wants.
Or talks about the Dakotas.
Yes.
Or Montana or something like, I just want to be back where nobody is.
Just
like, all right, cool, man.
oil workers and farmers.
He doesn't want to be around people.
He's
I
a
know
very
it's like
salt of the earth guy.
It's pulling teeth. I love him, but it's like I know it's pulling teeth when he goes to those things. But that's where we came up with the process. So we grew. First event was back in New York City, actually, we did it on purpose, a block from the Freedom Tower. It wasn't built yet, but it was almost done at the Marriott there. We had 100 people show up. Our largest event was in Washington, D.C. before fucking COVID, obviously, in April in 2019. We had over 1,600 people show up.
Oh, wow.
So that was total, and we had it at the MGM National Harbor. And
that's right. That was what month was that? Like in June?
Yeah, it
16th
was. It was April. It was April. It was April.
Okay.
April 19, and that was just.
Oh, June was the one here in San Antonio. Yeah,
so we had that. Yeah. So we rotate. We go across the country where we want, and we go to usual areas. Like San Antonio is an obvious place because it's military town USA, or military city USA, whatever the fuck they call it. And then DC, New York's out for probably the immediate future, unfortunately.
Florida's a good spot right now.
Florida's a great spot.
Yeah.
We just did an event there at the Horse Soldier Bourbon Tavern. That thing is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
We did that in March in Tampa. That is.
We
what
could
a
definitely
beautiful
do one.
place.
So our Tactical Brewing is owned by some Marines buddies of ours in Orlando. Now their facility would not be big enough for this, I don't think. But
not 1,600.
But they could.
That's a lot of people.
But they could. We could certainly have them supply shit, and that's who we're making. We have a new seltzer.
We have a new
out.
seltzer coming out this fall. So
it's 8%.
Yeah, we're partnering up with Tactical Brewery there. So
yeah. But we have to introduce you to those guys. Okay. Also need to introduce you to Ray Care, who lives in your area.
Ray Cash Care.
I know who he is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just I've asked him a couple times, like, why have you not gotten involved with these guys yet? And he goes, well, I don't know them. Like, so what?
Well, it's a networking event. It's a great time to meet each other.
It is.
Yeah. You can come in. You don't have to pay for shit. So.
And you guys always have a ton of celebrities at your event. I remember all your DC gigs. I feel like all the Washington football team is there.
Yeah. So
I've been, through Scott, I feel like I've met every single person that's been on that roster. Like not active, but like since the 80s.
Yeah, I do. So I am involved with the team. So we'll talk about from football, from NFL. I sit on the leadership council for the Washington football team. Basically, what that does is we serve as advisors when it comes to anything community related. So from charitable perspective,
Or like changing the name of the team.
Yeah, I mean that's one of them. So and you know,
So
it's
are they
amazing.
going to stick with WFT? Because I got to be honest, I kind of like it.
So do I. That's what I told him out in the lobby. I said the same thing. I go, dude,
Kinda
I actually like
it's
the
unique.
name.
It's nobody else does that.
No.
It's like the Yankees not having their names on the back of
And
their
there's no
jerseys.
logos. It reminds me of a
Yeah.
team in like the 1900s
Yeah.
where you're just like, all right, great.
Like the old wool uniforms
Yeah.
with just like the team logo on the
Yeah.
front and nothing else.
Yeah,
Like
I'm a fan.
the Akron Slammerjackers.
What?
That sounds like an old time sports team name.
I don't think that was one of the ones up there. Here's what I'll say.
The old Slammer Jackers are here, kids.
They're smart about what they're doing, right? So Jason Wright is a
Yeah.
very smart president. The team and Dan, Mr. Snyder, excuse me, everybody else is smart about it. They're going to see how it performs. The name is all I can say. So I'm pretty sure
Okay,
they're going to
great.
see how it performs. And listen, they've gone down this path. I could say that we were a part of it. We did the focus groups with the veterans on the name itself, and just to get some names that were out there
Yeah.
that have been in the top. The finalists.
A lot of people wanted something patriotic up there, but I get that for sure. But to be honest,
People
just being the only, James Altucher says this all the time. Being the only of something is better than even being the best at something.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
He's like one of my favorite authors on business. I think WFT makes more sense than coming up with any other name. So make it happen.
Yeah, I'm with you. Everyone said and called like, "What the fuck?" Everyone saw what social media was doing. Like, how could you pick that name? And listen. There was a smart marketing group behind that for a reason.
For real. I
Yeah.
mean, that was a really good fucking decision because what could you even say about it? Like, you can bitch about it, but what exactly is the complaint?
Right.
You know what I
People
mean?
were so confused at
They're
first.
mad about nothing.
They were like,
they don't know why they're mad.
They were like,
Exactly. There was no reason to be.
Yeah.
And think about it. They did that fast. They
Yeah.
didn't do that
Yeah.
slow. They did that fucking fast. From the
Yeah.
time they said they were
Yeah.
changing it to the time it rolled out was an incredible speed. And I was talking to Doug Williams. Obviously, everyone knows Doug Williams. So I was talking to Doug Williams about this.
Super Bowl champion,
first
black
African American
quarterback, yeah.
quarterback to
Yep.
win it, and he was the MVP too.
Yeah.
And Doug, because I straight out said, I go, "What do you think about changing the team name?" This is what he said. Was interesting. It was a great response, and he can yell at me later. He said, "Listen, I will always be a Redskin because every picture you'll see in the Hall of Fame, that's my uniform. That's what I want it on. Right? We're not going to change the Lombardi Trophy. We're not going to change any of those
Sure.
things." He goes, "However, it doesn't show that it's not progress." And he goes, "Well, absolutely can change the name." He
Well, how
goes,
do you
"So
know you're
keep that
making
in mind."
progress if you don't remember what happened?
yes.
It needs something inspirational like the Washington Rudigers.
God, I'm going to stab you. I've got a gun right here.
You want to sit next
He's
to
got
him?
a gun right there.
I'll go. I know exactly where to put it on the lower left-hand side of your abdomen where it's not really going to fuck you up.
Well, this is where I got shot, so aim for the
Well,
arm.
just
I don't
keep
want any
your-
extra scars.
By the way, did you know that Marty Scoveland got shot during his time in the military, but in basic training by a stray round on a gun range and never in combat?
I did not know
He's
that
like
actually.
the least lucky motherfucker of all
Super
time.
Army Ranger guy.
Never,
too.
never. He was in Ranger bat for fucking I think 3 or 4 deployments. Never got touched while he was deployed, but he caught a stray round in basic training.
Oh fuck.
How does that even happen?
I have no fuck. Who? I mean, what do you mean? How's it happen?
I mean, I know
People
it
are fucking
happens because
retarded.
everyone's stupid,
Yeah.
but like that's crazy.
He's the nicest guy ever too.
Do you know there was one goober in my fucking basic training, and I swear this one drill sergeant, he actually the drill sergeant I had started the combatives program at Fort Benning back in the day, like what 15, 20 years ago, and this drill sergeant slammed this kid into the ground so many times on the gun range to keep him from hurting somebody. So I can imagine
That's true.
if a guy's not paying it like this, he would be, that one, well, I don't, you guys, well, you didn't do anything, but the fuck. You were in the infantry, now it is kind of light infantry, light.
Yeah.
Like you were LEV.
Yeah.
right? But you're doing that, one of those courses where you shoot, bound up to another piece of cover,
Yeah.
shoot, just to teach you how to
Which
get
is
cover
basic-
and maneuver. Yeah.
First week infantry school stuff.
Every time this kid would do it, he would leave his weapon on semi, first of all, like this, finger in the trigger well, running like this.
Yeah.
Like, dude, there's people over there and there's people over there. you
He's
stupid
probably one of
fuck.
those weird like guys that got homeschooled in Montana. This is the
He
first
was-
time he's been around more than 5 people at once.
He was super weird. Yeah.
You get a lot of that in the
He
military.
didn't have.
yeah.
He didn't seem like he had a lot of socialization.
Yeah.
Right.
There though, and nothing against homeschooling, but sometimes you meet those like the Bo Bergdahl mountain kid types.
Yeah.
Where they're not stupid because
They have no life skills.
they have no life skills. They grew up as almost feral.
Yeah. Anyways, back to that point of this fucking show. So when you go to one of these Bourbon events, there's all sorts of different people. Usually Jason from Girl Your Ass Off is there.
Jason Murph?
Clint comes a lot. Fucking you're there a lot. Rich Hyde, Angry Cops is there a lot. A lot of people are there.
Chef Rush.
Chef Rush is there a lot, yeah. Especially over the last 2 years or so.
Yeah.
Dan Sharp's at a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
Pop Smoke on Instagrams, but a lot of people you wouldn't know. I mean, people like Evan and stuff like that from Black Rifle go business leaders, but basically, if you're a guy if you're a guy or gal, it doesn't matter what your fucking gender is, but if you are just getting out of the military, you're a veteran or whatever, you're looking for some way to develop job skills or just connections in the industry, internships. If you're a person with a business and you're looking for capital, any of that stuff, this is the place to go.
I've met a lot of people who had success stories from there. I met a couple that I think they either just got married or they're engaged that they met at Bourbon.
Oh, shit, yeah.
That's awesome.
And because of the successes, people who actually have the jobs to give and the skills to give and the capital to give are now showing up to them as well, right? Looking for, because they know that these people are dynamic thinkers and have really good ideas and are highly motivated, right? So you don't have to worry about a vet showing up to work every day.
Right.
Typically.
And it's interesting, I've noticed this, we've done a bunch in DC. It's interesting to see how people communicate culturally in different ways based on what community it's in. DC, you're going to see a lot. I mean, there's no shortage of retired lieutenant colonels living around there. So the kind of conversation that happens there is typically like a lot of it's defense related.
Trying to get government contracts and shit,
Stuff
which is,
like
by the
that.
way, his wheelhouse. Anyways,
Right. And then you go to a place like
with GCO Consulting. If you're looking to
San
get
Antonio.
if you're looking to get a government contract, a federal contract, probably look up GCO Consulting. They can help.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people are good at putting those things together, like the responding to what do you call it?
RFPs and RFQs.
Yeah. I mean, it is a fucking shit show, and then auditing your shit after the fact and making sure you're all legit and stuff. Because look, you don't want to end up owing the federal government money.
No.
You know what I mean? Because they'll give it to you slow, but they'll take it back all at
real
once.
fast.
I don't owe the government any money because I wrote a blank check up into my life.
Smart.
So I will tell you that real quick. Yeah, you want to
There
Just
it is.
shoot yourself.
I don't know about you, baby, but I'm feeling 2023.
He's gonna go 23 today. So real quick about that government contracting, 'cause I
Right.
know you appreciate this. So I do I do heavy audit, like remediation side, like legal side. So basically, when the Department of Justice has come fucked your day up, that's the kind of things that I run. So here's a crazy story because I know you appreciate this. We had this crazy fucking guy. I never forget this. So we were handling an audit. Basically, an audit, you did something wrong, whatever.
It's not always malicious, by the way. Sometimes
No, sometimes it's just random and
correct.
yeah.
I would say the majority of the time it's ignorance or just, you know what, they grew too quick. There's always something.
Right.
There was this guy, he was out of fucking control. No, I won't say the name, but he was an Air Force vet. That's how I always remember this.
It was Jared Taylor.
It was Jared Taylor. He was stripping. So the auditor was in there. He had a fucking screw this. There was something wrong with him, but he did really well. He was probably doing about $60 million a year in government contracts. He was doing well, and he was a service disabled veteran at one point. And he was fucked up his leg, something, but we didn't know what it was. And the auditors I just came that day because the team said, the auditors are going to be in house today. I'm like, all right, that's great. So I just go visit my people to make sure everybody's okay. This guy comes in, and he just fucking starts screaming at the auditors, right? And accusing them of being racist against white veterans. I'll never forget this entire thing. It was the weirdest. And I thought, like,
White veterans are one of the most economically deprived classes in all of the United States.
it is.
Yeah. It's common knowledge.
And it was a very weird situation because I was just like, listen. And so now he's like threatening the auditors. And I'm like, oh my God. So I get up, I separate this guy, and he doesn't stop screaming about this white thing. And I put him in his room. I go, what the fuck is wrong with you? And he just wouldn't stop. There was something clearly wrong with him.
Right.
4 weeks later, now there's a cease and desist. It was bad because he threatened their lives in that point in time.
And you're using third party auditors, right?
The auditors are my auditors, but his auditors are government. So it's the Department of Justice and it's the Office of Inspector General. So all of a sudden things start going crazy. So we go to a meeting one time with him too, and he threatens the head contracting officer of an agency right there. He says he's going to kill this bitch. He says, I'm going to kill you, bitch. And I'm like, oh my God. So I literally at this point, I grab my phone and I'm like, well, they're going to call the police. And I'm just looking at my phone now. So the police come and they arrest this guy.
Sure.
So now they got a restraining order, and this is how crazy it starts to get with him. So we're now going down this path. So we were going to have a meeting now with the U.S. attorney because they uncovered all kinds of shit, like bad stuff. And then it was the next morning, 8 o'clock, we had to be at the office or whatever it was. We get an email 3:30 in the morning from a Gmail that said it was the guy's doctor and he died. and that he died from cancer somehow.
This guy tried to fake his own
He
death.
tried to fake his own death. So
fan of
he put it everywhere, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I'm looking at, you get up, it's like 6. I call the actual attorneys representing him. I go, what do we do? He goes, we're going in. It doesn't matter. So what happens is they call us in, and we're sitting there, and we're like, everyone's there, and the U.S. attorney's like, I guess he's not coming because he's dead, huh? I'm like, no. So they go, well, I just want to let you know, we're just going to just show you something real quick. And they show us a videotape. And they've been following this guy. He's under surveillance now for a long time.
Okay.
And so what he would do was, because he was robbing, well, he was just doing bad shit, but I'll tell you what he was doing.
So, what was he doing? Was he robbing?
Well, I'll explain. I'll explain exactly what he did in the video.
Okay.
So they have him, up until this point, he was pretending to be very sick, right? So he had an oxygen tank and everything else. And
Harvey Weinstein, yeah.
Yeah, then he dies.
But was he doing
it?
it the right way? Was he like, because some people will try to fake an injury, but they'll limp on the wrong leg, or they'll be on a wheelchair with some other disease.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. So the videotape, when you watch it,
I had never heard this story before, by the way.
And he did it. So what happens
Jesus
is they
fucking
watch him.
Christ.
They follow the guy. He goes, watch this. They edited the thing down. They follow him to the airport after a meeting when he was with them, right? And he had his oxygen tank. They watch him. First off, they watch him go to the car, pick the oxygen tank up, and throw it in the trunk.
Yes.
Take off his oxygen, get in the car, drive to the airport. Drive to the airport, leave the
Oh,
oxygen
he did that
tank
in the air. He did that in the parking lot.
in the fucking parking lot.
At a federal building.
At a federal building. Like, it was the most ridiculous. It was like, yeah, it was in D.C. Like, he had the thing. He was outside. Car was parked outside. And he had a good spot, too. I'm like, he didn't want to lose his spot, I guess. So
God damn,
he
man.
gets in. He takes a flight. He flies to Florida. They got him the whole time, right?
Yeah.
When he lands, they have him. They're watching him. He goes into a bank in Florida. He takes out a ridiculous sum of cash, like several $100,000. He gets on a fucking trophy boat, like a charter boat.
Sure.
Goes to the Bahamas, dumps his money into the banks there, so
Great.
like nobody would notice.
Yep.
And then he proceeds to have all these, I would assume, ladies of the night were on the boat with him, and they're watching this whole thing. He's sport fishing. They have all the clips.
Yeah.
In there.
Like a
And they got-
regular old smoot party.
Yeah, exactly, like a spoon party.
That's
And yeah,
the first reference you've made today that's acceptable. I just want you to know that.
Yes.
Because we love Fred Smoot.
And this guy, of course, he's not dead, but they're like, we just want to let you know who your client really is. And I can't say anything. You're talking to the attorney.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, they go, we know he's not dead. Obviously, we have eyes on him. Just let you know. So just let him know when he wants to come back in, we can come back in. That's a day in the life. That's all I'm going to say.
Jesus
So
fucking
how
Christ.
did this
Wait,
end up?
it-
Because if I'm this guy,
He's in prison.
Oh, yeah.
he's in prison. Okay,
Yeah,
because
dude.
if I'm this guy, I go ahead and stay down there and never come
Well,
back.
you can't. Bahamas, we have extradition with Bahamas.
That's
Dude,
exactly
At least
right.
go to fucking
Yeah.
Panama, motherfucker. It's not even that much farther.
But well, here's the reason I
took
bring
all
this
his money
up.
back.
Do you have this conversation with your clients and say, "Hey, dude, here's what they have on you. It's client privilege. You should probably go down to Panama where they can't extradite
You know what he
or
should have? He
something
should have
like
hired the attorney that the QAnon shaman had. The one that said that all of his clients were retards. Like, he actually
Yeah.
said that out loud.
He did.
He goes, these
He did.
people are like, come on, they're retards. They're on the spectrum.
Yeah.
Like, you can't blame them.
Yeah.
He literally said that.
That's
at
not
press
a
conference.
bad strategy.
It's also not inaccurate.
It's also not fair to the thousands of people on the spectrum who haven't stormed the Capitol building.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I've not stormed the Capitol building once, so far
Right.
as I know.
that. No,
Yeah.
no.
I don't think I have.
No.
Yeah, those Ross, as you said, those moments when you're in a room with an attorney and their client and they're fucked like that, it's a very weird
I
conversation.
love that shit.
It is a weird
Just
conversation.
he knows this. I'm
Yeah.
one of the. I don't know why it is. I think it's just because of my condition. I've had to study human emotion to be able to understand it for so long. It's fascinating to me how it works. But some of my favorite moments are when the energy just gets zapped out of a room, or when things are super awkward. So I went to Penn State for grad school. We were at the whiteout game 3 years ago.
Yeah, for
And,
Ohio State, yeah.
Penn State's just whipping their ass the entire game. All of a sudden, with 7 minutes left, Ohio State wins the game at the last.
They were
second,
down
too.
by like 18 points or
Yeah,
something
I think it was
crazy like
18,
that.
yeah.
And Dan, he had gone to school there. We were in Penn State. They're playing
112,000
Sweet
people.
Caroline. People are celebrating. They're like, this
Yeah.
game is over. It's a blowout. Dan turns to me and he goes, with all these people's happiness right now, the greatest thing in the world is if they fucking lost this game.
Yeah.
It is 110,000 people.
I'm not
sold out. It's his own school, and he wants them to lose just to see their reactions.
I don't care if they lose or not. That's the point. You know what I mean? It is unless I have money on the game or something. Right. Even then, I really don't care. It's just it's not even that other people being miserable makes me happy. I just like to observe those radical changes like that.
Yeah.
It's very in a control. What is essentially a controlled environment, right?
Yeah.
I enjoy that very much.
It's so much so, in fact, when Ohio State comes back and wins at like the last second and all this, it was a miraculous comeback.
Right.
The entire air has been sucked out of this 100.
Everybody's wearing white T-shirts.
Except for me. I'm the only one that's wearing like a red Ohio State thing, right? Dan just takes in this deep, deep inhale, and he's just like, oh, this is what it's all about.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all these people's misery. He just soaked in, and he goes, I feel like I'm charged or powered up now, or whatever the phrase was. But it was in a completely monotone voice. And I was like, God damn it, dude. I go, enjoy this moment. I'll sit here with you, you know?
Yeah. It's like that, on like Friday afternoon when you get done with your bullshit, you head to the lake and you're on the boat and you take that first drink. That's what it feels like to me.
That's great.
Or like after 4 years of hard work, Rudy Rudiger gets a sack.
Yeah.
He's offside.
Yeah, he was offsides, Jack. If he's a piece of shit, let's get him on the show. We'll grill him.
Yeah. But like, hey, Rudy, you were offsides, bro.
Rudy.
Just keep saying it over and over and see if he punches in the face like Moon Man did to that dude, Neil Armstrong. Remember that guy?
Yeah.
Outside the...
Buzz Aldrin.
Was it...
Oh,
Buzz
yeah,
Aldrin,
that's
I'm
a
sorry,
classic.
Was it at 30 Rock or something? It was
Yeah,
he was coming out of
that was one of the early like.
Was it at 30 Rock?
It was in New York.
Yeah, it was in New
He was
York.
in New York somewhere. Yeah. He's punched a couple people though. Like one was at an airport.
Well,
Paparazzi. Somebody came up to him when he was about to get on a flight.
As far as the three men that were on that, as far as almost everybody in NASA at that time, Aldrin was truly kind of always the rebel. He was the talker.
Yeah.
He didn't have that same kind of like old school pilot humility that they did. He was like one of those roughneck pilot.
He was a
types.
Top Gun guy.
Yeah, he
Like,
was.
he
He was
for
a
sure.
bullpen pilot. Yeah.
He was an asshole.
Theo Vaughn said on his show, he goes, I met Buzz Aldrin. And he goes, I looked him in the eyes. That didn't look like a man who had been to the moon to me. And when I heard that, I was like, Theo, you go tell that to Buzz Aldrin's face. Even at 92 or however, he will punch you in the fucking
He's
face.
done it in his 80s.
And also, I mean, if he can look into somebody's eyes and tell if they've been to the moon, I can look at his haircut and tell he doesn't know what somebody's eyes who's been to the moon looks like. You understand? He's got a fucking mullet.
By the way, we love Theo Vaughn.
Yeah,
so
he's great. He's funny as shit.
He's
But
hilarious.
he's not a goddamn mind reader.
No, but it's really fucking funny.
Certainly not a guy that's ever been to the moon.
No, so a lot of people in the message boards are
Ooh, the
asking why
first
you
mullet to
still
the
have
moon?
your shirt on.
Well, if we're going to talk about bourbons, might as well publicize
I
it.
think you
at
put
that.
the Z backwards there, brother.
Well,
Did you?
So I didn't have. Giorgio was busy setting up the studio. Usually he's my stomach hand. I like to call him.
We need
Yeah, I'm looking at it in the monitor right there.
It looks good.
It's backwards. Yeah, the Z is backwards.
It's fine though.
Optical illusion. Well, that's for everybody who's been doing drugs at home's watching the show right now.
People just assume I'm on drugs all the time, which I rarely do drugs. But so I'm okay with just not getting things right because people already expect that of me.
Which is fun because I'm always on drugs and nobody ever knows.
and you're like Hunter Thompson level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Straight.
I am always on drugs. Always.
Yeah.
Like 24 hours of every single
Yeah.
day, there's something going
And
on.
I have a sip of a little margarita here, and I'm just
I want to
beside myself. I can't write a Z the correct way.
I want to address that because earlier when he was telling his story, you were making eye contact with me and drinking out of the thing with your fucking pinky flourish, and I want to know why.
Yeah, hold that up. Drink it the way you would normally drink it, Jack. There it is. Let me look at this.
By the way, if you're
that's
looking,
nice.
Kyle Pule here, however you say your name down there, if you're looking for dope Coke straws, go to lendafeingold.com to Kirill's website. They've got these little pins. It's like a pin that you put in your coat or some shit, but it's a metal straw.
Okay, Coke snorter.
Yeah.
Big fan.
It's awesome.
Big fan.
I'm not saying to
of all
snort
this
Coke
work.
with it. I would never
Obviously.
do that.
Obviously not. But if you do,
Well, I mean, I
Do
snort vitamins.
do it,
I think
properly.
it's actually listed as a vitamin straw on the site.
it has to be. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't.
You can't sell
put-
drug paraphernalia,
Nah, you
apparently.
can't do that at all.
Tommy Chong tried that back in the day. He got arrested.
Actually went to jail.
Yeah,
We're trying to get him on the show, by the
He
way.
did like 2 years.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
18 months or 20 months or some
Yeah.
shit
It
was
like that.
ridiculous.
Like a 4 or 5 year sentence for selling bongs.
Yeah.
You fucking kidding me?
By the way, I want to make sure that everybody knows where this event is at on Thursday in San Antonio. Tell everybody, because we decided to go live with this obviously because we're 2 days out. Out of our 10.3 million listeners, 2.1 are in the state of Texas. So tell everybody where this event is, because it is in San Antonio.
It's in San Antonio. It's at a place called the Brick.
Is that where we had it last time?
Last time, yeah, same place.
That
The
place is
Brick at
dope,
Blue
yeah.
Star.
Yeah, the Brick at Blue Star. Great location. Like I said, it's going to start at 4 o'clock. I'll go to 8. Open bar. We actually open bar, and we have 6 locations that we changed. So we did a little bit. We're always trying to
Okay,
make
so let's
things
see
better.
what they are then.
So
Because the locations are based on what you're looking for as either a
Well-
business person or whatever.
Right. So let's just talk about the setup. So you walk in rectangle wise. So you walk in. There's a lot of new tweaks we did activation wise. So there'll be 6 drink locations first off in there. So 6 different places. I actually have bar backs working this time, so to make sure that nothing ever is not stocked. So we'll have total of 5 beer and drink tubs that'll always be filled, so anybody can go get that. There's water in there too. You don't always have to drink. And then up front, there's that bar I believe you guys were sitting at last time. That's going to have an open tab. Anybody can get whatever they want there. So that's going to be constantly open. When you walk in, we're going to have, this is actually a good thing because my Jack's on here, we're going to talk about this. We're giving away prizes. We're doing more raffles, right? So besides the fact that you go to all the tables and all the people are walking around, we're going to have different activations around the actual place. In the back, we have a contest called Beat Jack Off. And so, so Jack's going to have a trivia contest. Basically, it's going to be pop culture and it's going to be
U.S. history.
U.S. history.
Oh man,
Bring it.
People are fucked. They don't realize that Jack is really smart.
He is.
I watched him on Softcore History, one of our other shows here, and dude, everybody was like, "Yo, Jesus Christ, Jack knows everything!" So good luck, good luck against Jack.
But there's a good prize. So if you got to pay to play, it's all donations because we're a 501c3. But so for that particular prize to beat Jack, it's actually cool. We have from the horse soldiers themselves, the 15-year aged. It's their Bourbon 15-year signed by the entire team that was on the horse soldiers in Afghanistan.
Oh, did Thor
Oh,
sign it
shit.
too?
Yeah, everyone signed it. So
Really?
That's what's going to be put up for anybody that was on the team. They said from the ODA, they actually have that, and then we have the certificate and everything else. That's going to be given up.
That's awesome.
That's fucking awesome.
So that's it. You got to beat Jack off his throne essentially to get that. So we're going to be giving that away. So anybody who wants to win that, be my guest and try to beat Jack. Rich High is the host, so Angry Cops will be actually
God.
the actual
Ah,
MC.
shit.
I love
great.
Rich
That
so
ball
much.
of
So
energy.
Rich,
Yeah.
he's
It's-
going to be calling the shots.
At some point, Rich is going to have a show on this network. We just haven't figured it out yet.
Yes.
He's so entertaining.
He's amazing.
I'm
fan of that.
down whenever. Fuck, you have a standing invitation. Jesus Christ.
Well, we got a new one starting soon with Mike the Cop.
Yeah,
and
Mike the
Eric
Cop
Tanzi,
and
right?
Eric Tanzi, Cop Talk
Cop Talk,
podcast, and that'll drop. First episode is June 18th.
They're both former police officers, right?
Yes.
Both. Well, I don't think Mike was ever in the military, but Eric was in the infantry back in the day.
Yep.
So a lot of experience over there from 2 very different areas. Mike worked in Detroit. Fucking Eric worked in like Raleigh.
Raleigh Durham, which is
Like on the shitty side.
Yeah,
of
the
Raleigh,
shitty
too.
side, yeah,
So
yeah.
lots of cool stories, a lot of fun stuff going on.
and they're going to go over every single case that is in the news and tell you without filter. Here's what really fucking happened, because we have not had that yet.
Yeah, it's kind of like Sunday Night Football, where the old retired ref comes on and tells you why they made those certain calls.
Exactly.
right? So it's actually really interesting. I wonder about your event. So you're talking about having different beer stations. Have you ever seen this new thing they're doing at college parties where you get a different color solo cup depending on what your dating status is? Like if you're single, you get one. If you're dating, you get one. If you're not looking at all,
That's
you get one.
hilarious.
Have you ever thought about doing something like that?
That's a good. I know. I like that idea though.
And then it's like a collector's commemorative cup, right? A little
That's
late,
not bad.
It's a little late for it to happen on Thursday.
Yeah.
But
But not for Vegas. It's not.
No.
I'm
so
looking.
we have a guy that makes those like
That's a good
It's
idea.
like the double walled solo cups.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we have some coming out on our website actually pretty
I'm
soon.
looking for work and to get laid.
Yeah,
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
That's going to be 90% of the people there. On
or if
Thursday.
you're a swinger, there's a pineapple one. I guess pineapples are like the new swinger code. Have you seen this?
Upside down pineapple?
Yeah.
All right.
But like if you see somebody wearing pineapple jewelry, they're either really into pineapples or swingers.
Yeah.
And you could probably tell from looking at them which one it is.
Yeah.
Swingers all look the same to me.
You know,
There's a look in the eye.
There's
Yeah.
always one button that's.
You can
buttoned
tell
a
they haven't
little
been to
too
the
low.
moon,
Yeah.
right?
No,
You look in
no.
their eyes, you can tell they haven't been to the moon.
yeah.
But they've been some weird places.
And he's swinging at your event.
So there is an underground, apparently, movement that I found out later on that there is a lot of people that partake and they go to Burbiz to basically, I don't know if they're swinging, but they're definitely getting laid.
Dipping in the pool, good. Good for
Yeah,
them.
they're having a good time, and it seemed to be like they said that's the place where it's a target-rich environment for them, and they seem to do very well there. So
Yeah.
for them.
It's Eric Tanzi. He's terrible. Some people were commenting, they were like, "Hey, you couldn't give Tanzi the full name." And I go, "I can say Eric Tanzi. His photography skills that were so terrible that I took the word Eric off. I was like, you have to earn back your first name.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
It's
That's
not
what we
as
do with
bad
our
as
children too.
that guy we had take our picture at the fight Sunday. The first dude that was talking about, I made some weird, maybe it's because I made that joke about his ex-wife.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, my ex-wife would tell you I'm a really bad photographer. I'm like, oh, is that why she left?
Yes.
Which
And
I probably shouldn't have said, but
the guy was just like this.
it's the first thing that came to my mind.
It was
And then,
perfect.
then he went on to take shitty pictures, but it's hard to tell if he was right and that's just how it is, or if he did it on purpose because I had offended him. You know what I mean?
Was it the thumb in front of the lens?
No, it was just like moving the whole time.
Yeah.
Every shot was blurry, and he
That
was like,
Holyfield
"Here, I'll
picture.
get one from down here too." Like nobody ever needs a shot from down here.
Yeah, Ross, I got to ask you about that
Sure.
Holyfield
Fire
picture.
away.
I looked in your eyes and I could tell you haven't been to the moon, but you were definitely shit-faced.
Yep. Yep.
And I looked into his eyes. I said, I don't know if he's shit-faced or if that's CTE. So what was his sitch?
So
in that moment?
here's the situation with Evander Holyfield. Because a bunch of people hit me up about this.
He doesn't seem like the partier type.
He's a weird guy to figure out, but here's his real situation. He has 11 different children. 11 children with 9 different women.
Good boxer stats there.
Well,
Yeah.
You lose all your money after something like that.
His real stats are good too, by the way.
Yeah, so he's a world champion and one of the very best boxers
He's the
of all
only
time.
person ever to have undisputed titles, which means all 3 organizations and 2 weight classes at the same time.
Yeah.
Light heavyweight and heavyweight?
Light heavy,
Cruiserweight. Yeah.
Okay.
He's one of the best of all time. In real life, he has not made the best financial decisions in real life. He's fighting again. So that's why he was at the fights. He is trying to put together the trilogy of Mike Tyson. So, yes, I think it would be gangbuster numbers. In the meantime, I believe, Hot Bob, look this up real quick. He's taking a tune-up fight against Peter McNeely, I believe.
You think he's going to wear earmuffs?
I don't know, but here's the other thing is what I said yesterday on yesterday's show.
What is that noise?
That's Giorgio's tapping into something. We can hear that little beep in her ears. That's nice.
I don't dislike it.
I don't mean either.
Curious what
Peter
it is.
McNeely, was that the guy that fought Mike Tyson?
Turn that mic on,
Tyson's
yeah.
return fight.
That guy's a doofus.
Yeah.
I can look into his eyes and know not only has that motherfucker never been to the moon, not only could he ever get one sack recorded for Notre Dame football, but I could beat that son of a bitch in a boxing match.
Do you
Let's
remember
get
his
him-
pizza commercial? He gets knocked out by a piece of pizza.
What is
Oh,
it? Just
boy.
scream it out loud, Bob.
You fight Mike Tyson once, it'll get you some extra dough.
June 11th?
Against Kevin McBride.
Oh, Kevin McBride. Okay, sorry. So the reason why I said Peter McNeely, same thing. They both fought Tyson. Remember Kevin McBride fought, he's the big white guy, right?
I mean, his name's McBride.
The big white guy? Yeah.
He's a heavyweight boxer with the name McBride. What do you think he looks like?
Yeah. So
If I never saw Shaquille O'Neal, I'd assume, oh, this motherfucker's from Belfast.
Shaquille
Yeah.
from Belfast. Jack, shut the fuck up.
I don't know
dude.
shit about Celtic names.
Celtic.
So
Yeah.
June
Shaquille's
11th,
not
where?
one of them.
Where is
You
it at?
Son of a bitch.
Put them up on screen, by the way,
Wait,
so
it's
people
June,
can see them.
It's June. It's this weekend.
Is this weekend?
Oh no, it is this week. It is this month, but it might not be this weekend.
Jesus Christ,
Bob,
Bob.
get it right before you start talking.
What are we doing, Bob?
Wait, it says June 5th.
No.
Scroll back up.
Scroll
It's the
back up.
Scroll back up. It's right there in the first goddamn sentence.
It must have gotten canceled.
It must have because he was at.
He was at the fight we were at. So, yeah, he would have fought the night before. No, that's not a thing. Look
Maybe
up
he
Evander Holyfield fight. And then see when this is. Because he was in unbelievable shape, and he looks identical to what he did fucking 30 years ago. It scared the shit out of me. And all I did was
He's
talk
not
to him.
just some old 60-year-old wash-up.
Dude, he looks like he could
He's
fucking
chiseled, yeah.
beat your ass right
No
now
shit.
today.
Yeah.
And he looks great. And he hasn't aged, and it's weird. But like Dan said yesterday, he's always looked like he's 50 years old. So, like, he looks the same.
Yeah, he did look worn out even in his late 20s.
Oh, yeah. And my guess is
Oh, here we go.
swapping all those weight classes. When you lose weight like that over and over and over again, like if you look at like Christian Bale's skin and shit, you're just like, Fuck, dude, that's taking a toll.
McConaughey, same thing.
Yeah, dude, you're going from 380 pounds down to
What are you doing?
120.
Scroll down.
And
Read the article.
come on, Bob.
Are you fucking kidding me? There's
Who? Come on, Bob.
It got canceled. There's no new.
It got canceled and there's no new info? Okay. So, look, there is a rumor that's they want to get this Tyson fight on
it's
by
with Triller.
November.
Can I suggest a guest live on air and put you on the spot?
Yeah.
Scott's sponsored him. He's been a dear friend of mine for
Oh, yeah.
years. You know what
Who
I'm
is
talking
it?
about?
Who is it?
TJ, Tim Johnson.
Yeah,
He's
Johnson,
fighting for the Bellator heavyweight.
Oh, fuck yeah. We'd love to have him on.
He's
Yeah.
the bear.
Yeah.
Is that his?
Yeah,
his
he's a
nickname?
big, and I'll tell you what, he is the quintessential Minnesotan. And I'm not outing him by saying this. This guy he's 36 years old, getting his first title shot ever. He's been through
What
the
is he
ringer.
fighting, Bellator or some shit?
He's Bellator, yeah. But he's a UFC vet. He did the whole North Dakota regional.
Wait, what weight class is he?
Yeah,
He's
Giorgio,
heavyweight.
pop a microphone
So he's
on.
fighting our guy.
You don't have one.
June
Okay.
25th.
Hang on a second.
He's fighting Mohegans.
Giorgio, do you
Not-
know who
not
this
Bader.
is?
He's
Do you know
not
this?
fighting
Do you
Bader.
know who he is?
Oh, Bader's light heavy now. He lost heavy.
Yeah,
right? That's
Bader.
right.
It's for the interim belt for heavyweight.
Yeah, because Bader
so-
got beat at heavy, but he
Pop
still
on in,
retains
Giorgio.
light heavy.
Yes,
Is that right?
as
Yeah.
far as I know.
Come around behind me.
Tim
Do you know
Johnson-
do you know who Tim Johnson is? It's a yes or no. I can't see your head. No. Okay.
I talked to, since Giorgio is a wrestler, Scott and Giorgio both have the same kind of ex-wrestler ear going on. So Scott's a big combat sports fan. He sponsors Tim. And he's 36 years old. And right now, he's just getting as many fights in as he can because he is just going to go buy land in southern Minnesota and just farm for the rest of his life.
Wait,
Really?
Bader
Yeah.
is still heavyweight champion,
They're fighting for the interim belt.
and Vadim Nekov is the light heavy championship. So did Bader vacate the heavy belt?
They're fighting for the belt June 25th.
He's
He's
fighting.
fighting Bader?
No,
No,
he's
no,
fighting
no.
the Russian.
Oh,
fighting
okay.
the
Gotcha.
Russian,
Gotcha.
He- so he's fighting this guy.
either Ryan Bader lost or he vacated that belt.
No, he's fighting light. Tim's fighting light heavy then.
No.
No, he's fighting.
I'm pretty sure he's doing heavyweight.
Well, that doesn't.
He's
make
a big
sense.
guy. I don't know if he could be healthy and drop that much weight.
No, he's like 260.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's big.
He's
The
a big
quintessential Minnesotan where you look at this guy and he was an All-American wrestler. He's actually around the fighting game. He's known as a slugger. And but just the nicest guy you'll ever meet. The nicest, humblest, most Minnesota son of a bitch you can imagine.
Prince fan? Is he a Prince fan?
Oh, we all are.
Yeah, you have to be.
Prince is the only thing that takes the bell curve on
Ladowski?
cool for
Correct.
Minnesota.
Yep.
So yeah, you gotta
Yeah.
love him.
Yeah, you got to. The other day was his birthday.
So what happened
Yeah,
with fucking
63.
Bader?
Yeah, what happened with Bader,
He must
Giorgio?
have vacated that belt because he held it until recently.
Pop on over here,
Because
Giorgio.
he was the champ.
Just right off camera,
Bader
so we
was
can see you.
Bader was the heavy and light heavy champ at the same time. Then he lost light heavy, I think, sometime last year.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken.
Well, Hot Bob, look up Ryan Bader and what happened to the champ. Did he die of AIDS? He was on the show.
Look
No.
up his cousin Master.
Tim
while
knocked
you're at
it. Tim beat Matt Mitrione and then Czech Congo for the last fight.
Okay. So what happened to Bader? Did he lose or did he just leave?
No, he just beat Lyoto Machida to, like, when was this? April 9th.
Beat him April 9th, and he lost to Vadim Nemkov on August 20th.
Yeah, but that's light heavy. So he lost to light heavy last year in August. This year in April, he retained heavy. So there's something going on. He must have vacated.
Yeah. Maybe he's doing something
shit.
else. Maybe he switched into salsa dancing. A lot of people are doing that these days.
Maybe, yeah.
You know, a lot of people are getting into salsa. It pays more than being in the UFC. So, you know, why not switch it up?
That's good that he's getting the shot, though.
Yeah, he is. He's earned it. I mean, he's been around, so we're good to. So he's good that he's still Minnesota guard. He was up there activated for the protest.
Let's get him on, dude, and we'll have him punch Jack. Because right there, I
We've
think,
done
I
it.
think
There's
this
a-
can take a.
Yeah.
I think that tummy can take a hit.
You think you could do it with a 16-ounce glove, 12-ounce glove? What do you think?
Take a shot from Tim?
Yeah.
4.
In the face or the
Bellator is 4 ounce.
I'm giving Jack a break.
If you go,
Yeah.
I mean, if he gets you in the liver, it doesn't matter how big
Look,
the gloves are. You're gonna.
I
you're
love
going
taking
down.
my shirt off and jiggling my belly because there's no real consequence to that. I feel like a punch in the stomach from Tim.
There'd be a consequence.
Yeah, I'm about his age, but I have 0 years of fighting experience.
Oh, I
so-
see what happened. So Bader is going to concentrate on light heavy. He won the World Grand Prix tournament for light heavy, so he's going to do that. So
Gotcha,
this is
gotcha,
for
gotcha. Okay.
interim championship belt
All right.
for heavyweight. So that's a big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, Bader was telling us 2.5 years ago he's making way more money as the champ in Bellator than he ever
Correct.
made
Yeah.
in fucking
That's why
UFC.
so many of them go to
Yeah.
Bellator, UFC. UFC just pays like absolute trash.
Well, we don't know how they pay.
But
Because
he can
it's
pick
all,
his
a lot of
sponsors
it's hidden.
though. So he does.
Yeah, that's
he
true.
Does, he sets.
You don't
his
have to
prices.
use Reebok.
Yeah, don't have to
Yeah,
use
yeah,
Reebok.
yeah.
He sets his prices.
Yep.
He can sell the banner. He can sell the walkout shirt. He can sell everything on the shorts.
Yeah.
And he sells spots, so legs, ass,
yeah.
everything you want. So he gets all that money.
Even at that Logan Paul fights, both fighters had shit on like 1 million patches on their shit, and they were like, all those were going for whatever dollar amount they went for.
Yeah, I'm sure. Same thing for Tim. Like if you're going to sponsor him, you can get he puts everything out there. So
I watched the press conference afterwards with Mayweather. There was 3 waters that are on the table, and the mic was live. It was a hot mic, and he looks at his people that were sitting right off camera, and he goes, "Hey man, these motherfuckers pay for this? Yeah. No? Take them off. Take them the fuck off." And so literally he took all of the waters down and threw them on the floor and then sat down. "Hey guys,
good for him.
what's your question?" And it was, I mean, no lie, I just was dying laughing.
That's funny.
The video is on YouTube. These motherfuckers pay? Get them out. Get them out. And it was just 3 cans of whatever it was.
And you know that could be some sports journalists that snuck their thing up there.
Right.
It's like their buddy's company or something like that.
It's usually the venue itself, whatever their brand is, and they're like, "Oh, hey, put it up here and you can drink it if you want it, whatever." Mayweather, not a prayer. "We getting paid for this shit? No, fuck you then." And then he ended up drinking one of the waters because it was right after the fight. But he put like a thing around it, and was just like, "Well, I'm not even gonna let you get a picture of this fucking brand."
Look,
it's really funny.
I mean, that's like somebody coming into your fucking store and stealing stuff.
Yeah.
His product is getting eyeballs on products.
Yeah.
So I get it.
He's
But he
still-
is kind of a cunt. I mean, everybody knows that, right?
Yeah. but
Mayweather doesn't. He's like 52-0 now.
No, because that's an exhibition, so it doesn't count. He's still at
Okay.
50-0. He's
Well,
still
50
tied with Rocky Marciano.
51-0.
No.
Yeah, because of the woman that he beat up, right?
There it is. There it is. Yeah. Unofficial.
that one didn't count?
The Vegas Commission wouldn't, Nevada
But
State Commission wouldn't.
Rocky
license
Marciano
it.
was 49-0.
Yeah. Oh, was he really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So he's won. He did the one, and that's it. Huh?
Technically, but I don't know. Does that Conor one count on his record?
Yeah, he's 50-0.
Yeah,
So-
it was sanctioned. Yeah.
Shit. So maybe that's the
He is, yeah.
the one, and that's it.
Marciano was 49-0.
Fuck, man. Well, there it is.
Yep.
There you have it. Well, good luck to your buddy. Yeah, shit. If he's around, we'd love to have him on the show.
When's that fight?
Yeah. When is it?
June
25th?
25th. Yeah.
Okay.
Where does he live? Is he?
He trains at Extreme Couture in Vegas.
He's a full-time in Vegas.
shit.
and
Oh, he
then
trains with Randy.
he commutes to Minnesota to do his guard stuff there. Yeah.
yeah, he had to literally go there.
He had to
for
go to the
riots,
Chauvin trial.
And then
Yeah.
Well,
had to
hopefully
do
they
the
don't
Chauvin
pop
trial.
off again during this
You're
fight.
kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
He
he had during training. He had to go.
After the fight was announced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Yeah, because we were getting pictures from him like he was walking around fucking Minneapolis. I'm like, "You're not training?" He's like, "No, I'm active." Like, holy shit. Yeah.
For the whole trial?
Yeah.
Dude, that took out 3 weeks of training then?
Yeah.
That sucks, man.
And he's done his entire professional fighting career like that, having obligations to the farm, to the National Guard. Like he's all over the place.
That's
Well-
nuts, man.
Yeah, I mean, if he's, we're going to be in Vegas probably the second week of July for the Big Three.
I think so, yeah.
Like the Big Three, that basketball, like it's all.
We're working on some with Ice Cube.
It's all retired.
Oh yeah. Like yeah.
Yeah.
Everything I know about that is about sports is from Bryant Gumbel.
Yeah. Well, you should. HBO.
I'm a Greg guy.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just. He looks like he's living a better life.
I love the whole
He's a
Gumbel
little
family.
He's a little fatter, which means he's having a better time. Like he doesn't care what he looks like.
Wealth
on
belly,
camera.
Wealth belly,
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it.
No.
Nothing wrong with it. Yeah, but that Big Three is starting to pick up where there's a bunch of ex-guys who are like, all right, I want to play.
Yeah, it's interesting.
And they do one overseas every year, and each person gets like $1 million. What's the name of that? Aaron Kraft always wins it from Ohio State. Every single time.
It'll be interesting to see who plays in it because it's like a lot of former NBA stars.
Yeah.
Like Charles Oakley was one of the coaches of one of the teams, I think.
Yeah,
That's a good
dude.
name.
Yeah. Steven Jackson, I think, was going to be involved somehow, but I don't know if he's got time in between, protesting and stuff.
Sure. Well, it's over now.
Yeah.
But if they
Actually, I had like a 10-minute conversation with him in the parking lot after the fight. Not about anything in particular. Like me and Chuck.
Oh, shit. Did you?
Me and Chuck were just sitting there talking to him for 10 minutes or so about nothing in particular.
So they went to the fights. I saw him and Matt Barnes, right? So him and Matt
Barnes was
Barnes.
there. T.O. was there with those guys.
Well, the two of them in particular have a podcast on Showtime, All the Smoke.
Yeah.
That's where the Kwame Brown shit erupted.
Yeah, Kwame Brown is he's milking that for everything it's worth, isn't he? That's all he posts about anymore. But he lit them up pretty good.
No, so what he's doing now is just going live on YouTube every day telling everyone he's ever met in his entire life to fuck off.
Yeah.
And it's the funniest shit of all time. No lie, if we could sign that guy's show, he does not give a shit.
No, and he's
I
like-
even got roped into, there was something 2 days ago, we were sitting in the airport, and I put it on, and I was like, there was a guy, like his brother or something in the office, and he's talking about his life and fucking what you should do with money and blah, blah, blah. And his brother said something, he goes, motherfucker, what did you say? And he goes, you act like you've done something in this world. I mean, he doesn't give a shit about anything.
He's a pretty decent shit talker.
The thing is too, like, he got criticized his entire, almost all of his 20s and into his 30s.
He got criticized out of basketball by Michael Jordan himself.
Really?
Yeah.
Like
This is
Michael
a
Jordan
guy-
broke that dude down into a million pieces.
Well, the worst part was he went from Jordan, and then after that, then he got traded to the Lakers.
Yeah.
So he went to Kobe,
Kobe,
and it's the same person.
Well,
So-
more Kobe was a little nicer than Jordan probably, but by that time, Brown was hopelessly lost.
But
Kobe was not nice.
know
to him.
what?
Oh yeah, he was nowhere near what Jordan did. He wasn't getting punched in the face by his teammates.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a fine line between fucking Latrell Sprewell.
If you can spend even 1 year in the NBA, like you've done just like getting one sack with Notre Dame, you've done more than
Just
most
like-
of the population.
God damn it,
like
Jack.
being on the Buffalo Bills practice squad.
yeah.
Like Chet, dude.
Like Chet Scoveland, which we made that character up on the spot.
It's a great.
Yeah,
one.
I don't remember how that. What was the product? The first one? Oh, it was Theragun.
Theragun, yeah.
Yeah, you. I was just like, hey Jack, let's make a commercial, and you just started acting like a fucking asshole. I'm like, yeah, this works.
Thanks to Scott, I've met a lot of former athletes, and most of them are stand-up dudes. But every once in a while, you get that guy. It's like, man, you need to let go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like that dude still talking about basic training in his 40s.
Yeah.
Chet's
There's-
picks. We're gonna have Chet's picks this fall for the NFL.
Yeah, we're getting you a full-on Bills
Bills.
practice squad jersey.
Yeah, I want to
And
get the mesh
pads,
one that's cut off.
Everything.
I want to get the '80s one. Remember the mesh ones that were cut off, the midriffs there? I want to
With
get
the
that.
fucking 3 stripes.
Yes.
On the sleeve. Yeah.
I think we can pull that off. I can get that. I can call my guy.
It's the one after that, I think. Actually,
Yeah.
it's the 80s.
I don't want to brag or anything, but I actually happened to meet the legend himself, Thurman Thomas, at an Applebee's in 2009 when I was on my way to the airport after I got cut from the practice squad of the Buffalo Bills.
Thurman Thomas, Jim Kelly,
Bruce Smith.
Smith, dude.
Another Redskin.
Yeah.
0-4
Scott Norwood.
in Super Bowls.
Yeah. Talk about, like, they
As
tried
a-
harder than Rudy Rudiger. At least Rudy Rudiger got one sack out of it.
God damn it, man!
Dan's gonna kill himself live on
I
air.
am. This is actually somebody had a good joke the other day. We were talking about how Bob's having a baby shower, right? His wife's pregnant. She's about 6 months pregnant.
Yeah.
And I said I was going to show up to the baby shower, wait till all the gifts are unwrapped, and then blow my brains out onto him. And somebody was like, "Is that technically a gender reveal because it's the pink mist?" Right.
Greatest
but
line
I think
ever.
it's a girl or it's a boy though, right? The baby
It is a boy, yeah.
So I have to put blue food coloring in my brain somehow.
We'll put it around.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what it is? When you go and get MRIs, they pump you full of that blue
that dye.
Yeah, that blue dye. So
Yeah, I might do that. The other joke I had, and it's I tried to get Jack to use it on Jack's Friday, but I want to get it out.
Oh, yeah, I fucked up.
Yeah, you really fucked up on that one because it was still inclement weather back then. When it was raining a lot here in Texas, it was right at the beginning of Pride Month, which apparently we're in now, unless you're in the Middle East. Like
Yeah.
if you go look at it, go look at every business's fucking Instagram account, and you can see the rainbow flag behind their logo, except for their Middle East accounts.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
same
It's
with
fucking weird.
China, right?
Yeah, it's fucking super weird. No idea why that's the case. Anyways, this is the joke. The joke is that we were having mild inclement weather. It's annoying in Texas, right? It's been raining for fucking ever. Actually,
weeks.
the entire South.
Yeah.
It's been raining for like 2 or 3 weeks. So I said that maybe God has dialed it back a little bit on the gay stuff. Like he's still not thrilled about it, but now he's just kind of mildly inconveniencing us instead of a global flood. You know what
God's
I mean?
keeping up with the times.
He's not turning anybody
Yeah.
into salt.
Right.
Yeah.
or anything like that.
Even
He's-
God's he's starting to change his tune on the whole issue.
Well, I don't know if he's changing his tune, but maybe he's just busy.
Well, I have a fucking plague by us. We have the cicadas up by us. It's just fucking.
What's
Oh,
the
yeah.
deal with people eating
Yeah, yeah,
cicadas?
yeah.
No, they're
Those
they're
videos have been
making
going
them.
around everywhere. Yeah.
They're they're selling them on street corners. People make food and shit, and they eat them with.
Wasn't that
Yeah.
that was one of the 10 plagues?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like from on Pharaoh, right? Or as locust. Yeah, you're
Locust.
right.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
but
either
these
way.
cicada videos have been going around on TikTok and Instagram of people cooking the cicada videos and eating them. Is it that delicious, or is it just a fucking?
I would never try it, but apparently there's fucking that many stupid people nothing to do but eat insects.
That's great.
I mean, some people like that kind of shit.
Yeah, yeah.
But
These things are fucking.
You expect people in the Appalachians to do stuff like that. But when it's like
Yeah.
Judy that lives out in the suburbs of DC, there
there was a bunch of videos from people in upstate New York.
Yeah.
The Syracuse area. Like, oh, yeah, there's fucking cicadas everywhere. We're going to cook some, like grill some up or fry them, deep fry them. Like, what? Why?
No.
Dude.
It's bizarre though. You walk into some places, like I'm not even kidding. There's a film of them on the floor. There's like
That's
yeah.
it's like a Texas Roadhouse with the peanuts.
yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it's like. But the entire every surface is covered with them. It's bizarre. It's every 17 years and fucking
Here we
it's
are.
disgust- and they're loud. Holy shit.
They're loud as shit.
Oh my god, it doesn't stop and it's nonstop. They never
Yeah.
shut up. 24 hours from when
every
it started.
17 years.
And then they
That's
fucking
weird. That's
Getting
about
Matt
how
gets
often.
all riled up every 17 years.
That's about how often America starts a major war. By the way, about every 17 years.
Every 17 years.
Yeah.
Jack, why are you still wearing that shirt?
Yeah, it's getting kind of weird
It's
at this
getting,
point.
it's getting like we've never seen you with any form of clothing on top up. But I mean, look, it's your call, obviously.
Mandeville
It's your call.
formal.
Look at that.
Mandeville
that Bourbon is-
formal. Can
Yeah.
you? So
Does
for-
he go to the events like this, by the way?
Oh yeah, he did. Remember, you guys
Oh,
missed
yeah.
when he did the Vegas. He did the rap off
Rap
against
battle.
the
That
Vegas.
was-
Oh, we were there.
Oh,
We were
yeah,
there
you
for that. Yeah, it was a
But
blast.
That was he was.
Yes.
Well, I was
he
there.
Was in full garb.
I was there, but I wasn't there. You know what I mean?
I remember talking to Dan. I'm like, Dan's having a good time.
I was
People
tuned
rocked.
up.
It was fun.
So we did like 3 shows before he came over. One was with Rudy Reyes, where he drank an entire bottle of whiskey.
That is never aired.
Yeah, we can't air it because there's all kinds of illegal shit on there. Then we did one with Tara, I'm Terrible, right after that.
Yeah.
I remember that.
By
Oh
the
my
time we
gosh.
fucking made it to the place, we were already shit.
I think she found Jesus after that.
I saw her that night with Jared in the hotel lobby, and
Yeah.
they were screaming at the top of their lungs
Yeah.
at each other
Yeah.
in the middle of the casino.
Jared likes
Just to
do
do
that.
it? Yeah.
Jared
Yeah,
likes
yeah,
to do
not
it.
not
to
like
do it.
domestic violence, but like just
to do it.
get
Jared-
louder than each
Jared
other.
and Jesse do that shit all the time.
If they did it at that Bourbon.
Yeah, if we're in public somewhere and we're waiting in line for a restaurant or whatever it is, if we're just in public with nothing to do and they get bored for whatever reason, they start yelling at each other like a pretend fighting. It's so goddamn annoying.
They did it
Yeah.
on they did it on Range 15 all the time.
Oh, yeah.
well, that was kind of the characters.
That was
too,
the
though,
characters.
right?
Yeah.
So maybe that character just has continued.
Continued to live
Yeah.
forever.
But it is that Jared likes doing that. He clearly doesn't mind embarrassing himself in public, and now apparently he's bought a fucking jet. So
Yeah, I'm seeing the videos here. We got to get him in. Shit, because he went to do what, ayahuasca?
I don't know what he did, but he bought a jet for sure, and he's flying it around everywhere.
But I think he told me he was going on something or whatever. He talked about it on his Instagram today, and he shaved his beard and he shaved his head as well. So he got rid of the long hair and he got rid of the beard.
I don't think
today.
he shaved his head, but he did shorten.
Pull up his Instagram. Pull up Jared's
Yeah, hang
Instagram.
I think it's just
JT
he cut the hair.
Art 15, I believe it is.
Yeah, he could put a polo on at this point.
Yeah, he's just got slightly shorter hair, but not.
He was going full mullet for a long time.
Oh, he
dude.
did ibogaine too, which is very.
Yeah, what is
very-
that?
It's very powerful. It's another hallucinogen.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But he may have done-
I don't believe I've ever heard of that.
He may have done ayahuasca as well because I know the retreat he's talking about.
Okay.
So they do everything. They do MDMA. They do psilocybin. They do the whole.
Put Jared's Instagram on the screen here because he woke up and I was like, I don't think I've seen Jared without a beard in.
It's been about 2.5 or 3 years,
Yeah.
give or take.
And then he cut his hair off.
Yeah. Yeah, but his hair length has changed. Like he had a mullet for a while, but the beard has been there for a minute. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's into all kinds of shit now, and so we've actually got this idea. I guess I'll go ahead and say it now. Jared and I behind the scenes have been developing a series of challenges for you that you have to do
For me personally.
Yes. So we're going like skydiving shit.
Okay. I've been skydiving. Okay.
But it's Okay, not like this. So it's that.
Okay.
And it is going to rally car school.
All right. I wouldn't mind that. I did something similar back in the day.
Try out for the University of Notre Dame football squad.
Now that I still
You
got
can
four,
get into one game just for like.
You do have 4 years.
I've got 4 years
eligibility,
eligibility left, so I could. I could easily still punt for those guys.
Yeah. The other one is flying the jet.
I did. Oh, I did that actually.
Well, I mean, like this one of his specifically.
Yes,
'Cause
I'm down.
He's been going to, you know how Dakota, 2 years ago, went to 53 straight days of helicopter school to get his helicopter pilot license? That's what Jared's doing right now.
Oh,
Like,
gotcha.
He's blowing through a fucking program to get license and shit like that and just do training because he likes it. But
It is fun as shit, man.
we're going to do like 5 or 6 different scary ass challenges for you.
Yeah.
And record the whole thing and try what we can do about
the
it.
life insurance
Making
has
fun
come
of you.
through, so
Yeah, we're
my
all done
wife
with
is
that.
the company's fine.
Yeah.
Wife is fine. So yeah, I'm insured.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, we're going to do a bunch of crazy shit.
That's awesome.
I think one of them was we're going to put you through Tim Kennedy's shooting school too.
You know what? I would actually love that, by the way.
That one will be really fun. 'Cause
Dude.
He does 3 days. One of them is like, well, it depends on the program you do, but sometimes it's 4, I think. One of them is like a wilderness survival thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's pistol and a couple of days of fucking long gun.
Here's what makes Tim Kennedy so great is when he's doing
and
these
combatives and shit. That's the other-
classes,
yeah.
he talks to you like a normal person and he's not talking above you, right?
Right.
There's a lot of these shooting fucking schools, I'm not going to say who they are, in Los Angeles for movies and movie stars and all this other thing. And they talk down to you about shit of like, why you don't fucking know how to do this and this and this. And it's like, it's not really that fucking helpful. We know you can do it, asshole.
Yeah, that's
I'm
why
not
we're here.
paying you for that. We're paying you to teach me how to be better.
Right.
The way Tim talks to people is the reason why he's so successful with everything in life.
Well, that's what's the job of special forces in the army. People don't understand for some reason. They think it's all Rambo shit. The vast majority of it, unless you're on a SIF team or something like that, is to train local nationals. That is your expertise, to learn languages, learn cultures, and then train these people on how to do paramilitary operations. So of course he's gonna, and he's uniquely mentally situated to do that work as well.
And when other people in any field, by the way, not just him, but any other field, talk down to you about things, it makes you frustrated and not want to fucking do shit, right? Whereas like directing with people like Jack, you've never been in anything, but it's like, hey, take a deep breath, go again. Who gives a fuck about these people and everything else? Like nobody's gonna give a shit until what's on the screen. But it's the people that talk down to you about shit. It's like, hey, motherfucker, you were teaching or not? Like, are you helping out?
That's why people like Michael Jordan and Wayne Gretzky were never able to have success in the front office. Because they were just like, dude, just shoot the
agree.
ball,
Yeah.
man.
Just be the
Like-
best.
Like Ted, after Ted Williams retired, he tried to do what Chipper Jones is doing now for the Braves, which is be like kind of a part-time hitting consultant for. I mean, mostly what Chipper Jones does is teach Ronald Acuna how to swing at good pitches. Like that's most of his job. But Ted Williams came on.
It's a good investment.
It's a very good investment
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
on his way to a fucking MVP, maybe. Right?
Yeah.
Hall of
At
Fame
20
career
at
if he keeps
23 years
going.
old,
Yeah.
So Ted Williams would, like, he literally would say that to people while he was training and be like, hey, man, you just got to put the bat on the ball. Like, Ted, what the fuck does that mean? We all know that's
Yeah,
the goal
yeah,
here,
yeah.
motherfucker. Asshole. He's like, when you foul the ball off and you can smell the wood burning off the bat, that's when you know you're really on it. You hit one of the seams. And it went straight back, and everybody's like, what the fuck are you talking about, Ted?
Bro, that is an acid flashback.
They told that. Remember at '97 when they wheeled him out for the All-Star game, and he threw out the first pitch and shit, and everybody's shaking his hand, blah blah blah. During the broadcast they told that fucking story.
He's probably smelling Korea when he was there.
Yeah, he was a pretty good fighter pilot.
Just
was
as
great
great
at
at killing
everything.
people as he was killing that ball.
And he lost about 4 seasons to 2 separate wars.
He also lost his head after he died. It's frozen.
That's right.
Isn't it? It's frozen somewhere, right? Then they freeze the head
That's
of.
not a rumor. His
No.
children have confirmed that.
Yeah, they've confirmed it. Now's the point in the show where we get to the Drinkin' Bro of the Week, which is someone who has inspired you or helped you become the person you are today. Sir, who would you like to give that to?
Shit, I'll say what I said earlier, Justin Constantine. It's
Okay.
amazing. I've worked with him now for years, and that dude is. And here's the other thing: he just beat stage 4 cancer. On top of everything fucking else that dude had to him, he just. I mean, we just found out in January at the day at Bourbon's in Vegas. He called me. He's like, I can't come out. I go, why? He goes, I have cancer and it's bad. And it goes, I don't know how long, but and he was in Europe at the time. His wife was at Cambridge getting her PhD. And
Cambridge,
the Cambridge in Oxford. And she was, he's like, fuck, I got to come home. And I'm like, all right. Because they were coming back for the event. And I'm like, you just do whatever you got to do. Turns out it was everywhere in his body. Started in his pelvis, and then it went, started his prostate, and then went everywhere. And yeah, he's recovered now, which is amazing because he had like a fucking no chance. Like they were like, no chance. But of all the guys, you want to be inspired by a guy like that, who's the most positive motherfucker in the world, who's been shot in the head. He was an attorney too prior to when he went over there. He was a JAG officer, and then he volunteered for civil affairs patrol stuff. And then, yeah, he got shot in the head. But he went through all that. You know, he just, think about how crazy this whole thing is. He just got a surgery. On top of that, he had to wait. Since he was shot in 2006, he just got a surgery to finally do implants in his thing so he can like chew food again.
Yeah.
That was 15 years later. He hasn't been able to chew. So anyway, that's my guy. I would say right now, anybody who inspires me, I think I'm having a shit day. That dude fucking checks me real quick.
Did he beat cancer?
He did.
He did.
So it's right now it's in
remission?
remission. It's in remission. So, again, somehow he had lesions everywhere. And when we saw him in November.
Yeah,
he looked, you know, he was very thin. You know, we were worried.
And he was always like, he's a big dude.
We were worried about him, and you know, I would go visit him all the time, just during this whole pandemic, just to get him. We'd go sit at a bench by his fucking house just to get him out of the house and shit while he was in recovery. But yeah, he's doing.
And
better.
you know, his background is he's done very well on the corporate public speaking tour, which is how Rudy Rudiger makes most of his money. So
From Notre Dame?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Motivational speaking. That's true, by the way. I'm not just saying that.
No, we can go ahead and kill Jack's microphone permanently.
Yeah, and then maybe Jack.
And then maybe Jack himself,
well,
yeah. I'm going to throw in one more Drinkin' Bro of the week here. I said this a little earlier in Ross Patterson Revolution, but really want to thank USAA. They're not a sponsor at all. That is the only reason I am moved back into my house in Texas so quickly. Whoever knows me, most of my family is military. That insurance gets passed down to generation to generation. My grandfather was the one who said, look, this is a little bit more expensive than most of the other places, but I promise you, there will be one point in your life where there's a complete fucking disaster, and he goes, you will need this insurance, and they will fucking help you. I went through that. It was $218,000 in damages. They paid immediately. They were unbelievably helpful, and we were all moved in back into Texas, whole family and everything else. Definitely want to give those guys a shout out. Dude, I did not have one single fucking problem with them, and it was record speed. And during what we went through here, I think like 30% of the houses got some form of flooding from the storm and everything else. It was to the point, and they were blunt when it happened. They were like, look, we don't even have restoration companies to come out and help you. So if you can call somebody else, we'll pay. Yeah, and they said, if you can call somebody else, we'll pay. We went on Drinkin' Bros. Mike Boscovich and those guys came down, did that house, paid them. USA paid them, and phenomenal. So thank you. Again, not a sponsor whatsoever, but my grandfather was right, and that is the reason all my family is back. So thank you very much, USAA. And thank you for being here. One more time, tell everybody where the event is on Thursday, what time it starts, and where it's located.
So we'll see everybody at the Brick at Blue Star in San Antonio, 4 to 8 p.m. It's free. Everybody can come, of course. If you didn't pre-register, that's fine. You can register at the door. And we'll see you there, and then we'll give you information about Vegas, which is coming up in January.
And when he's saying Thursday, this Thursday. June 10th.
Yep. June 10th.
At the Brick, 4 o'clock?
Yep.
4 o'clock. Great. Jack, you going to be there?
Yes, I will be there.
Yeah.
You got to beat Jack off. The good news is, too, in that little trivia competition, if I win, people will be like, oh, wow, he's smarter than I thought. And if I lose, they're like, yeah, he's a dumbass. So it's win-win for me.
I didn't know if you were going to zoom in. That's why I said if you're going to be there, you know.
Well, he lives in San Antonio.
I
know,
live
but
a block away from where it's happening.
The ultimate
I'm
Jack move would be
back.
like, hey, dude, I'm not coming in. I've got to zoom in for this.
Yeah, from your house.
From your
a
house.
block away.
That's a Jack move. Yeah, why not? I can see that.
Sorry,
hey, guys.
the dog's shitting right now.
Go in a different room in the same building and zoom in. Don't let these people tell you what to do.
The reason why I say that, by the way, is we were short of guests one day. We had Jack zoom in, and he goes, yeah, man, I could fucking zoom in, I guess, but my dog's going to take a shit. Is that okay? And I was like, yeah, man. So we were it's on one of the shows, I forget, and he's zooming in, and he goes, there's my dog shitting right there. He's shitting right in the front fucking yard. What do you think of this, Russ? I'm like, I don't know, Jack. Appreciate it. You couldn't have sat and done it from a computer or anything else. Nope, just took the Zoom on the phone and forcefully watched me Had me watch his dog take a shit. So fucking it. Proud of you, Jack.
He's a good boy.
Love you. You can see Jack every Friday nights on Drinkin' Bros Patreon for the Friday night Jack sesh. We appreciate you guys being there. Online, where can they find you?
Burbiz.com.
BOURBIZ.com.
Yeah. Great. Always a blast. And thank you for the OJ helmet.
Absolutely.
Yes,
you guys,
this is
glad I was good to get it for you.
A lot of my very favorite all-time gifts are up here. Dwight,
OJ.
this fucking
That's great.
wine holder with the big dick thing, and Chuck Liddell gave me that bobblehead himself.
Yes.
awesome.
And Adam Krola gave us this Mangria. So I'm a fan of that. I got rocked on that one night.
It's
20.9.
fortified. Yeah, it's fortified wine.
Yes. Best in the biz.
Yeah.
Go to the Bourbon event on Thursday if you are in San Antonio, 4 o'clock at the Brick. It is free. You can get fucked up with Mr. Jack Mandeville himself. For D'Anthony Holloway, I'm Ross Patterson. We are the Drinkin' Bros. Good night, everyone.